Hi folks, and welcome into another edition of This Week in Pearl. I'm your host, Frank Hutton. I'm excited to do this show each and every week, to bring this to you guys, where we get to talk to two of my favorite people, Representative Gene Newman and Senator Dean Kirby. I enjoy having them here each and every week. So when we come back, we're going to sit down and talk to them under the dome. So don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Here in Pearl, we have Trustmark Park. It seats 8,500 people. It's a great venue that we have here locally. You can catch a baseball game. We have a new team, the Mississippi Mud Monsters, so we're so excited about that. In Trustmark Park, the stadium's been fully renovated. Adjacent to that, we have Bass Pro Shop, as well as the Mississippi outlets that people can come shop and enjoy and have a great time. So it's a good place to come. It's a destination spot for our city. We did a $12 million renovation to our Parks and Rec several years ago, and what we were missing was another key area for our children to come and just be able to hang out and have fun, but also have some playground equipment that was really cutting edge. I've always thought if you can get your community together, then you can have a stronger sense of community. And I think that's what Main Street brings to the table for us. And even though we're a post-World War II city and our architectural doesn't signify a downtown, we're trying to have an area that we create that people can come together and have a sense of community.
Hi folks, welcome back into this edition of This Week in Pearl, where I am now joined by the two favorite people that I get to talk to each and every week. Gentlemen, how are you, Representative Newman and Senator Kirby?
We're great, thank you.
About wore out. Tired. So there are exactly 10 days, 16 hours left in the session. How are we doing?
And when you say days, you mean days.
10 days, 16 hours.
Not normal work hours, believe me.
Right.
Yeah, we're working.
Yeah, how's it going over there?
It's winding down or winding up, whichever way you want to say it. It's, this is the hard part.
Yeah.
This is the hard part?
It's the hard part.
All right, so
this is where we have to come to an agreement. Yeah.
Right, so these are long days, I guess, at this point, as you pointed out.
Well, it is. I mean, now you know, if you're watching us on TV, live streaming, you'll say, well, they weren't in there but an hour and a half or 2 hours. Mm-hmm. Well, that's true. That's all we were on the floor. The rest of the time we're meeting, trying to, on conference reports, trying to come to agreements on.
Well, let's talk about it, because that's basically, you've got deadlines every single day.
That's correct.
For the next 10 days that y'all are trying to meet. Literally, there are deadlines every single day.
Yeah.
And we're filming today on Wednesday, where we normally film on Monday, but actually this will be today. This show will go out today. But we're filming today, and y'all have deadlines today, you've got deadlines tomorrow, and y'all are both on conference committees at the moment. Senator, tell me about it.
Well, I don't even know how many I'm on, but there's two that I'm spending some time on, and one of those is the Supreme Court district, so we haven't done that in some time, and it's time to do it. We've been told by the federal government to do it pretty much. So anyway, the Supreme Court districts, you have to do it, you have to have a certain amount of black voting age population and federal guidelines you have to have, and of course with the districts you have to have equal or as close to within a 5% deviation of population in each of those districts. So we're working on those, and I think we've got something worked out on that, and something that will make people like Jennifer, happy. Jennifer Branning, and
yes.
Who does a wonderful job for us.
Our freshman Supreme Court Justice.
Yeah, well, I said Jennifer because she's been on this show.
Yes, she has. She is a friend of the show.
And actually had you tour.
We did. It was great.
So, I think we've worked some things out that most people would be happy with. You're never going to do anything to make everyone happy, no matter what it is. but that, and then I'm working really closely with Chairman and Senator Delano, because he's from the coast, on a mitigation bill. Mitigation meaning home fortification for credits on insurance.
Okay.
And it's
That's right up your alley.
Yeah, I'm very familiar with that. That's why they named me as a conferee, I think, on that one. So, but Delano is working with, let's see, the three conferees over there are Turner, Ford, and Zuber. And he's working more, I think, with Zuber for the reason that Zuber also lives on the coast, which this affects the whole state, but it affects the coast by far more than anyone else. Right. Because insurance premiums on the coast, this will shock some people probably that haven't been on the coast or lived on the coast, but insurance premiums are more than their mortgage.
Are they really?
Oh, yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Insurance
and
premiums.
there's no standard markets writing on the coastal areas. And they're all non-standard markets, and which the commissioner has no jurisdiction over, and
that sounds like a mess.
It really is, and we're trying to straighten it out. And what's happened, we have the highest rates of any coastal county right now. I mean, coastal state, I'm sorry. You would think Florida would have more because they have more exposure.
They have more exposure, right.
Yeah, and Louisiana, Texas, and, you know. So, but anyway, our rates are the highest, and I think the reason being, and I've talked to the company people about this in the last year or two, the other states have passed mitigation. And for fortification of homes. And they knew they were passing it in other states, so all the companies raised their premiums, so then when they have to give a credit, they'll get back to where they are.
Got it.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
we didn't pass mitigation, and our rates are up, and they're still there, and they're hiring everyone else's. So we've got to do something to help those people. It's going to get to a point where people can't afford to live on the coast with the taxes and insurance.
Is that why we haven't seen maybe a lot of rebuilding in some of those areas?
Possibly.
Because of
but now Jackson,
insurance?
but now like Jackson County as an example is growing like Rankin County. I mean, it's growing. They're building subdivisions at a time, but the insurance is so high, and people can't buy the type homes they could if they lived in Pearl or Brandon or wherever, you know.
All right, Mr. Pro Tem, tell them what fortification means.
Fortification means fortification is either helping fortify homes to make the homes safer. It could be metal roofs, as an example, with stainless steel screws instead of nails, and the walls having to be to meet certain dimensions, and studs have to be so far apart. The roof joists have to be certain. I mean, you know, or some homes have to be up at least 12 feet high. You know, that type of deal, according to where they're located. So you have different building codes for different areas down there. So it's according, if you're right on the coast, you probably don't even qualify for the mitigation even.
Wow.
Because the companies, like I say, no standard markets are right on the coast. There are some, if you get past Pass Road, you know where Pass Road is on the coast? If you're there or north of the interstate, then you got you have some companies that are riding.
Well, then nothing like
standard markets, but
nothing like having a microphone.
Did I do that?
Mishap. You take your it just fell off the clip. It's on your coat.
on your coat.
It's on your coat. It's still on your coat. It just the clip came off the clip.
So, but anyway, fortifying homes, making those homes safer.
Yeah.
Now, there was some debate on you know, how do you fund something like that? Well, there's some federal money for it, but also the insurance companies. Now, some people are saying, well, if insurance companies have to pay more for license fees and all, they're just going to pass it on to the customer. Well, they may have to. I think we're going up $25 or something for the license. No big deal.
Right.
But then there were some people were saying, well, that shouldn't affect life insurance, and because it was all insurance agents. It shouldn't affect life insurance, and it shouldn't affect health insurance because of wind blowing a house away. Yes, it does. And here's why it does. first off, if the home isn't fortified and people do have wind damage, they're likely to get hurt, injured, be in the hospital, or die if they try riding out a hurricane. If it's fortified, they might make it. If it's not, they're not going to make it, more than likely. Not if another Katrina comes. So,
right.
It's just making the home stronger is what it gets down to, and hopefully save people's lives.
It's our attempt as human beings to try to beat back Mother Nature. Is that about right?
That's it. And,
I know when I go.
And like I say, all the states have done it but us, and it's ridiculous that we haven't done it.
This year you're going to get something done.
Well,
hopefully.
Yes, hopefully. And I start to say Senator Turner, Representative Turner's the chairman over there, and he's doing it now. The gentleman from Vicksburg, who's my friend and yours, he doesn't like it. He doesn't want. Well, he doesn't live on the coast either. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you might have a little skin in the game.
Well, I do have skin in the game. That might be another reason I'm a comfort.
It might be.
I actually have 2 kids that live down there, and then I have a home.
Right.
That I never get to go to, but I do have a home.
Right, and I know like over in the Biloxi areas where I was referring to, because Katrina just took out so much over there. I mean, it's just, you can stand literally on flat ground and just look and see nothing but grass and trees that are starting to grow back, and even after this long.
Oh yeah, Long Beach and all.
And they haven't put anything back, and I'm just, is that one of the reasons that some of those homes have not been rebuilt?
So this will save the insurance companies money. It will lower your premium and hopefully save lives and injuries. So I'm all for it.
Looking forward to that. Thank you. All right, sir. Representative Newman.
Yes, sir. Does my mic work now?
It does. You're on conference.
I am. I'm on several different bills in conference on public property. I'm on one in Judd B, but public property, I have the ABC warehouse in Madison County, the old ABC warehouse. We're trying to work that out to sell that. There's one of the new data centers that's going into Lauderdale County needs the current Highway Patrol building, and they're willing to buy that building and build a new one, plus build a crime lab to go with it. So we're working on that one. Yep. And see, there's one in the other one's kind of simple, got some simple stuff to it. It's little pieces of land, like up at Ridgeland. There's a little piece they're growing flowers on it, but it actually belongs to the state. The city wants it, so they keep growing flowers on it without getting in trouble with the state auditor. So we're transferring that to them. There's one in Gulfport. It's just little pieces like that.
Right. Just little parcels of land that just
deal with that. So,
yes. And the city's growing flowers on it.
Right. And I'm on one in Judd B that it deals with scheduling drugs, but in that bill there was an amendment added that that makes it illegal for these abortion pills to be sent into the state. We're getting people having other states allow abortion pills to be sent into our state, and this would make it a felony to do that.
Oh, okay. So you won't be able to cross the state line with that. Okay. That sounds helpful.
I'm on a couple more, but I won't get into those now. But the one thing we haven't even thought about or talked about is our projects bills. And hopefully we're going to have projects bills this year. We can come to an agreement. Project bills meaning maybe more money for the city of Pearl or Brandon or whoever.
The Murray Street.
Well, we kind of mentioned it last. Week because the deadline was last week for filing.
That's
right.
And so y'all got those filed, and
yeah, we do, and hopefully we can work that out, come to an agreement, and give our cities and counties the money.
That's kind of like the last thing that you guys cover.
Well,
isn't that right? Because once y'all pass general bills,
you got to figure out where all the other money's going for. You figure out where
this is kind of the remainder of the pot.
You see how much money you have, and then you also have to divide out the needs and the wants. So the needs are really need this, or we really want that, and so that's where we are.
That's kind of where you are now. I have to ask this question. I have sitting before me two distinguished gentlemen who've been members for quite some time. Does your allocation reflect your length of membership in each body?
No,
Can you be a freshman and get $1 million?
no.
Not likely.
But I have actually seen that happen.
We did that this past year, actually, or year before with Senator Rhodes from Pelahatchie. We gave him some money because he has not only part of Rankin County, but he has Smith County, and there were some real needs.
Certainly, you're looking at what it's for, but it's real needs, obviously, as well. It doesn't really matter. But I just thought, okay, so you have tenure.
It helps.
If you've been there for a minute.
If you're the pro tem, it helps a lot.
It's helped a little bit. But
if you're the finance chair, it helps a whole lot.
Yeah, imagine so.
Yeah, I've done both. So yeah, it makes a difference.
Yes, I would imagine it does. So it's the reason why I'm asking is because when you guys run for re-election, I want people to understand. You hear people calling for term limits and all this. I am not a term limits fan.
Yeah, can we talk about that for a minute?
We can, because I'm not one. You have term limits every time you come up for election. That's a
4
term
years.
limit.
Yeah.
So
If they're not doing a good job, vote them out.
There's
It's
a House Concurrent Resolution 51 right now that is calling for a constitutional convention to do term limits for Congress. Let me tell you why that's a bad idea, and it's just real simple.
Me too.
When you take away when you put term limits in, and you take the ability for states like Mississippi or Arkansas or Wyoming especially to have longevity in their members, then you have no power. All the power is vested in California and New York and Michigan and a few other big states that have a lot of population. That's where all the power will be vested if you do term limits.
Right.
Well, right now, because Mississippi has through the years had longevity with our members, like Senator Stennis, Senator Eastland, Thad Cochran, Trent Lott. Or you go to the House and you see John Stennis and multiple others that have done great things.
Sure.
All through the years. One of the problems we have right now is our House members from Mississippi haven't been there any time.
No, they haven't. Well, just a handful of years.
Jamie Whitten was chairman of appropriations.
Right. We got one that's been there for a while, but he don't do anything. So, he
can't until he gets in the right position with the seniority. That's what it gets down to.
I mean, Michael Guest.
Michael does a great job,
running the ethics
but we need to leave Michael in there, let him get seniority. It's more important. Well, it's really important in the Senate. There's no doubt about it. But you've got 2 from each state, so that's
right.
But when you start having states that have 20 and we have 4, you see
on
how
the
we get
representative side, yes.
on the House in the House.
Right.
It
But
makes a
and
big
California
difference.
has what, 50?
Something like that.
And
yes.
there's a couple of things.
54
First off, we've put term limits, not for the United States, but for locals, for legislators. It's been on the ballot twice and failed both times.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize that.
And it needs to fail. We don't need term limits.
As far as the congressional that you were talking about, we started in the 90s to join some other states that were suing to have term limits, and then the Supreme Court ruled that only Congress can limit Congress's term limits. We can't. States can't do it. And I mean, that's gone through the United States Supreme Court.
Right. That's constitutional.
Right. Yeah. And so, why should we pay $1 million to get in a lawsuit that we could be doing good things with, that we know we're going to lose?
Which is why they want to have that convention.
And if they want it,
Right.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you have a convention of states, the thing about it is the
large states.
They don't know. They've never read history. They don't know what happened. When we got our Constitution, those guys weren't sent there to do a Constitution. They were sent there to redo what they had. And so they took it on themselves to completely redo it and bring a new Constitution, which is great, worked out wonderful. But that wasn't what they were sent there for. If you open up our Constitution, there's no telling what you will have when you have people that we don't care for with a lot more power than what we have.
Yeah. Small states will
Yes.
be discriminated against.
Yes.
And we're a
You
small
can-
state.
And you can see that clearly in our political climate right now,
Right.
Yeah.
especially with the way that they're doing, and you know, when you're gerrymandering a district,
Right.
Yeah.
and you're trying to make it more right-leaning or more left-leaning. Now, I agree 100,000% with President Obama on one thing. Elections have consequences.
They do.
Yeah,
And I, because he said this, and I totally agree with him on that one issue. We don't agree on anything else, but we can agree on that. And I am for, if we need to gerrymander a district, elections have consequences. And I would have liked to have seen our state legislators work on that district up north up there and handle that like Texas did, and get rid of a couple of issues that they had. I mean, we're not doing our Delta residents any service by allowing that to continue in the situation in which it's in Frank's opinion.
Yeah.
Now, purely my opinion.
And I do agree the fact that we should have reapportionment or redistricting, because people move around in
They
states
do.
and things change.
Things
in states
change.
over 10 years. And
Yes.
you know, if you remember, I said this a few years ago. In 10 years, from 2000 to 2010, I guess it was. No, 2010 to 2020, we had 11,500 people move out of the Delta in 10 years. 11,500. I think they all moved to Rankin County.
Yeah, they came here.
I'm telling you. But anyway,
Wow.
they did. They moved
Wow.
when they moved north. They moved east. They moved.
Well, I have good friends that live in the Delta.
Yeah.
Indianola
And-
area and all that, lifelong friends. And, you know, they struggle up there.
All the river counties
Mm-hmm.
have struggled, honestly, and they've all moved east or north.
Yes.
Basically.
And
So-
there's no sense in it.
So you have to have equal and proper and fair representation. So I agree. I don't necessarily agree with everything they require, but
Right.
I do agree that we should have
We should do-
reapportionment.
we should
And
do
I do
something.
agree that the Supreme Court districts that have been drawn in, 30, 40 years or whatever.
Well, you should be good
need-
at that.
need to be.
You've redistricted several things.
Yeah,
You
I
should
know the
be-
numbers.
You should be good at that.
I know the numbers, and I know what the federal government requires.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with them on everything, but
Gene, you touched on ABC Warehouses, one of the things that we've talked about it the last month or so on this show. Where are we on this? I mean, because we've lost so much money in the state revenue. Is this bill going to make it to the governor's desk to allow this to happen?
Are you talking about to buy it straight? I don't know whether they've
all
invited.
in-
I don't even know that bill's in conference. I don't know where it's at. I hadn't paid any attention to it. Do you know whether or not the one we sent y'all back, it was y'all's bill?
I think it is in conference, yes. Actually, I saw somebody had requested that copy of that bill for you. I saw it on my committee of assistants. Yes, that Representative Newman.
No, that's one that we got a conference report. That is on the ABC. But you're right. That bill, that Chairman Barrett left it there for me.
Okay.
I mean, maybe because the state has lost so much money in this revenue. This is
Oh, it's
this
really
and then,
hurt.
And then we've got businesses that are just getting hammered.
From restaurants to
Yes.
casinos to
It's
whatever.
basically hurting our GDP at this point.
It is.
It is.
It's a serious problem.
And do we know anything else at the moment on this?
I don't.
No.
I have not. I mean, I know that they have gotten a little bit better at the warehouse. I know that they're getting orders out more efficiently than what they were. Now, whether or not they're filling all the
Still
orders or
running 30
anything,
to 40 days behind, do we know? I mean, because that's what they were last week.
I think they're a little bit, like I say, they're improving. That's all I can tell you.
I liked your idea about putting the guard in there. They're efficient at moving things.
Right.
That would have been a great idea.
I think it would have been too.
You could have called your wife, and she could have straightened it out real fast. Brought her out of retirement and sent her
I
over
was
there.
going to say she's retired. So.
Of course,
Send
I
the
can
colonel over there to straighten them out.
I can see some preacher right now that's in the guard working in the warehouse. I don't think that would go.
Well,
So there may have to be some
depends on what
exception.
religion he's a preacher for. If he's Episcopalian, he'd probably be in there real quick. Catholic.
He might drink up all the profit.
Oh my gosh! Well, the ABC thing was a mess, and it's been a mess, and you know, I'm looking to see what happens out of all that. All right, so a couple of things before we wrap up today that I want to really get to. Y'all are in appropriations conference right now. Budget-wise, you guys still looking, I think, around that 7.6, 7.7.
Somewhere in there.
The issue is Medicare. Medicaid, not Medicaid.
Okay.
Medicaid.
Help me
Medicaid.
understand that.
Okay, so we had a $35 million shortfall this past year that
Okay.
we've already had to make up. All right, and look,
Where did the $35 million shortfall? How did that happen?
because this is what happened. Starting in 2020, the ARPA money started flowing into that, and they added people. You know, the part of that was adding people
Right.
to Medicaid and all that. Well, in the last couple of years, they've cut 200,000 people off of Medicaid in Mississippi. They took that many off, but Medicaid costs have continued to rise. Hospitals, doctors,
Right.
medical medicine, all that stuff.
Nursing homes.
Everything is going through the roof. And I don't know how to stop that, but they're wanting right now. They want 300 and something million dollars.
I'd heard 380.
300 and something million dollars per year increase per year.
Well, and the big beautiful
For
bill
Medicaid.
cut Medicaid some too.
Wow.
But I mean, if we do that, there's no teacher pay raise. That's out the door. We don't have the money for that. There's all this other stuff that they were talking about doing, adding to. That's all out the door because $380 million just sucks the life out of our budget.
Yeah, as we'd said earlier, if you give 500 million, or really $1 billion, because you're counting 50 million a year, our bill, they were 600 million, I think, up front for PERS.
I was going to ask about that next.
And then you do 360 million for education. Then you do 300 million. It doesn't leave any money for anyone.
No, I was going to say there's no money for special projects.
Well,
There's
that's why we're playing with the numbers.
There doesn't leave any money for anything, and this Medicaid is a mess.
But see, here's the other thing about it. You got to understand, with Medicaid, the way the law is written, if we don't fund it to enough money, the governor is required by law to cut it. And when I say cut it, I don't mean he can cut a little bit over here and a little bit over there. He's required to say, okay, we're going to cut it 10% across the board.
Okay.
Everything.
So if you,
Everything, nursing homes, medicine,
where
everything.
you fund it, the level that you fund it, if it's not fully funded, then he's required by law to cut it to get it to wherever you funded it.
Right.
That's right.
So if you funded it with $100, he would have to cut it to get to $100 because by law it's mandated. To
Right.
do that. I got it.
Well, again, we balance our budget every year.
Sure, which makes sense. We need to. Everybody else has to do theirs. Why can't the state do it?
That's right.
And the federal government.
The problem with
Well,
him,
we don't print money. They do.
the problem with him doing it is, like I say, he cuts it across the board. So the nursing homes and the hospitals, if you say, all right, we're going to cut that 10%. The problem is, and here's the real issue, we're putting in this amount of money, what is the Medicaid in our state part? About $1 billion. It's the second. It's right below education. Medicaid is. Well, they get $7 or $8 billion. They get more than our whole budget from the federal government into Medicaid.
That's right.
So if you're going to cut 10%,
You're talking over $7
Medicaid
billion
budget.
Coming in from federal government. It's
Yeah,
more than our budget. Is more.
Yeah, the Medicaid budget overall with the matching funds is more than our state budget,
That's ridiculous.
including what we give Medicaid.
And I don't know. Obviously, we can't solve it here at the spinner table, but
right?
But there's got to be something
and
in the
as
future
Gina
to stop
said
all
in the
of this.
past, Medicaid is a wonderful thing if it's not abused and it's used
Right.
properly.
Right.
So,
But
we
all
have
the
a lot of
fraud
abuse.
and the waste and the things that you
That's
see
right.
being uncovered in these other states. I mean, look at the Medicaid abuse and fraud going on in California. We thought Minneapolis was bad.
Yeah.
They've got something like 300 listed convalescent homes in one building. That's not even possible. I mean, and we wonder why the federal deficit is so bad, because we've got states like that are just destroying, and as you pointed out, they're larger states and they would dictate to us in a convention. But that's ridiculous. We have to do something, all the way from the federal level to the state level. I don't know what the answer is. I really don't.
I certainly don't. I mean, I don't have a clue. I mean, Medicaid's the whole budget. That whole Medicaid budget's beyond my comprehension. But there are people at the Capitol who do understand it.
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
And you're talking about $380 million of our state budget having to go to fund Medicaid.
If it goes to that, then, and I'm telling you, if we have to do that,
that's additional money.
That's
we
what I'm
already
saying,
give over $1
additional.
billion. Yeah.
Right.
And that's not one-time money. That's every
Annually.
year. Yeah.
Right. And it's going to increase.
Right. So we had put in, what was it, $100 million last year extra above. We had increased the Medicaid
Now you're
budget by $100 million last year.
That?
And then there was still a $35 million shortfall.
Yeah.
So we put all that money in and there was still a $35 million shortfall. So, you know,
where does it stop?
where does it stop? That was the
Where does it
question
stop?
asked.
So
I
you're
asked
talking about
yesterday.
education here, then Medicaid.
That's right.
At some point, that's going to change.
It's going to change, and it's coming
And like
real
you said,
fast.
where are the teacher pay raises at that point? Where's anybody's pay raise at that
Right.
point? That's a runaway train.
Of course, Trump's trying to get it under control, and so are we.
And like I say, the state has cut 200,000 people off of it since the peak of that COVID stuff.
But I assure you, we don't intend to kick anyone's grandmother out of a nursing home.
Of course
That's not what we're trying to do.
Nobody wants to do
But we
anything
do
like
want to
that.
get abuse
But
and
we
fraud
have to find
under
the fraud
control.
or the waste.
Yeah.
And it's not going to be like it is in, say, California or
Oh,
Minneapolis.
no.
But we certainly have some.
Oh, yeah.
Every state's going to have some.
And I have people contact me now that they've gotten cancer, they can't work, they've lost their insurance, they have nothing, and they're trying to get on Medicaid, and they keep getting turned down.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know.
I've helped a lot.
I've tried, you know, I've helped some, and so some of them just don't seem to be able to get on it. So I don't know what the answer is. There's people out there that are hurting and need help, but
we got able-bodied people running around that aren't working, that are sitting on the public dole, that could be contributing to society. Look, that's a subject. That's a sore subject with me.
Me too.
I'm that guy right here that would be happy to say, look, I'm for workfare. I am not for welfare. You teach a man to fish, you'll feed him for his life. You give a man a fish, you feed him for the day. I am that cliche is 100% accurate.
That's correct.
And I'm for workfare, not welfare. And you lose your job, I'm here to help you. I'm there, I'm with it, but only for
whatever
a
we can
period
do.
of time. If you can't find something in your field, well, there's somebody hiring somewhere. And look, I even like the old TVA program back in the Depression days. Why can't we do stuff like that? There's plenty of projects that could be done. Coastal cleanup, things that could happen, that the government could form an agency that you would, if you're on welfare, well, if you can't find a job, well, you're going here, and that's just where you're going, and that's what you're going to do. You can help build bridges and roads, and you can pour concrete. And
what was it, CCC
yeah,
after the war?
Right. You can do stuff. I mean, those programs worked. They got people from down here and lifted them up, and they could buy
Gave them
houses
jobs.
and gave them a skill and trained them and got them off the couch.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a sore subject with me. But this expansion, I'm glad we didn't do Medicaid expansion, because those ARPA funds were going to go away.
We'd be in real trouble.
We'd be in real trouble today, right, Gene? I mean, that would
Like
be
about half the states are right
Yeah.
now. They're struggling.
and without the federal government money,
Yeah.
they'd be in a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're in great shape financially in this state. So
Yes, paying more debt down
yes.
this year.
Yes, I don't know if we're going to have a bond bill or not. I understand the House has one. I haven't seen it. We don't have a bond bill at this time, but there may be a need. You know, I don't know.
I think they just brought it out in case there was a need for it.
Is that what it is?
Okay.
But it's always good to have that on the table.
Right.
I mean, if you have to have something.
There was a couple of things that you guys did over in the Senate last week, one of which you passed a bill to allow widows to maintain the homestead exemption.
That's correct.
That's a good thing. Why have we not done that? I mean,
Well,
that just
homestead
seems like one of
exemption-
those no-brainers.
Homestead exemption and not have to pay ad valorem
And not have to
tax
pay ad
appear.
valorem tax.
For what? Well, that's for. Well, I think the ad valorem tax was for those that are killed in action.
Okay.
Probably, but for homestead exemption, yeah.
I mean, that just almost seems like a no-brainer.
It does to
are
me.
why are we just now doing that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Well, some things, we find out some other state has done that, or someone
Yes.
just like
That's
you
almost-
says, hey, why don't you guys do this?
Yeah, they
well,
just-
never thought about it. Yeah.
Right, that's like having the reduced garbage and water rates for our seniors. I mean, that just
Yeah.
makes sense.
We have a lot of V8 moments where you.
Speaking of V8 moments, how's the thumb?
The thumb.
Let's check in on the thumb.
Well, I checked with one of our news centers. He had the thumb. I said, "How long you had that?" And he said, "Almost 2 weeks."
Wow.
He said, "With pride, you know."
Wow.
I said, "Well, why didn't you give it to so and so the other day?" "Well, I didn't think it was bad enough." He wants to keep it, so we're going to have to go take it off his desk. He's acting like it's a trophy because he messed up. So we're going to have to take it away from him.
That's pretty funny. We follow the jars around, didn't he?
I hadn't seen him. I don't know whether something happened to him or whatever.
Everybody's real busy over there and just haven't been paying any. You're right. That happens at the beginning of the session.
Oh yeah,
usually.
well, we tend to mess up more, I think,
at the beginning of the
especially
session.
the new ones.
All right, so we talked about a lot of other stuff, but you've got the local and private, and that's pretty much what you guys have been working on right now. I know the city of Pearl has a couple of requests.
Yeah,
One Murray
but
Drive.
they're not
Yeah,
local
but
and
that's
private.
not local and private.
Okay.
Local and private is like raising a tourism tax.
Oh, okay. I'm
yeah,
thinking
for
about.
hotels and
I
restaurant
got you.
tax type
I
thing. That's-
misspoke on that one.
Yeah.
Or local and private can be where the city of Pearl wants to make some donation and they need for us to pass a bill
To allow
so
that to
that allow them to make the donation to the boys club or whatever it may be.
VFW or whatever.
Right, or Touchdown Club or something like that.
Yeah.
All right, but there are a couple of things that we do have. I know that you guys have worked on. Murray Drive is one over
Yes.
here, and that's
Yeah, that's the projects.
That's a special
Project
project
bill. That's
project bill.
strictly appropriation.
And those had to be filed by last week, and had to be the lawyers had to have them in.
The,
and-
the bills themselves were the individual bills were filed back during the general session, the first session, and
January.
they've been dead for several weeks now.
Yeah.
But that ain't, those bills are just making the chairman aware of what's out there.
Yeah.
Right. To resurrect them if they
You know,
can get
so
resurrected.
so what we do
Well,
is
we'll take. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I just say we have to go work with the chairman at this point
Yeah.
and say, don't forget Pearl, don't forget Pearl,
Yeah.
don't.
And I'm
Or
sure
I'll
the
take a
chairmen are
list.
just getting
I'll
worn
take a
out.
list and put it on chairman.
Yeah, you take the list, you take it to the chairman,
Don't
but then you
forget
make
these.
sure you take it to his administrative assistant.
Don't forget these projects here. Yeah. If we're going to do
I
projects,
can
don't
see
forget
him
these.
doing that. I can see him walking in. Here are the ones you're gonna pass.
No, I don't do that. I don't do that.
You don't do that. That don't work.
Here's the one that I
I'm just
really
messing
would
with you.
appreciate. if
Here's the
you'd
ones
look
I
at.
really would appreciate you
But
taking
and
care of.
then right down at the last minute, they'll call you up and they'll say, "All right, is this more important or that more important?"
Yeah. Or instead of 400,000, could they make it on 300,000?
Right,
Because I'm trying to balance.
Trying to
this out.
balance that out. I know I bring
Yeah,
up the Murray
excellent.
Drive project because that would open up that whole corner.
Right.
That whole south eastern corner there by the gas station and the A1 appliance, which has been there forever, Pearl Staple. But that would open that area up by getting that interchange fixed. That would be a big deal. I mean,
It would be. It'd be good. It'd be good for the city overall.
it would be good for the city and for the people that pass through the city. You know, that would be good as well. I mean, to try to get that resolved. I mean, you've got the flyover now that allows that traffic to go smoothly down into Richland, which is great.
Yeah.
And then that would
And of course, we have the lighting on that we've helped with, and on Highway 80, and that we're trying to finish out Highway 80 pretty much if we can. And that's what does a couple things. First off, it may save a life because of the fact that of the lighting, and you won't
Right.
run off in a ditch or hit someone on the side of the road or whatever.
and it is a state maintained highway.
But it also makes the city look like a city,
It
not
does.
a town.
Right, and not a town.
Yeah.
exactly. But it is Highway 80. It belongs to you guys. I mean, it is a
Belongs to taxpayers.
right. It belongs to the state. Y'all maintain that. So that's an important road. But yes, those things.
Actually, that's a U.S. highway.
Yeah, U.S. Highway 80. That's correct. Right. That's an
a
old
federal
one.
highway.
That's an old one. Right. Federal. Right. Just like the interstate. That's a federal highway. Mm-hmm. Yeah, from way back in the day. Oh, and I would tell it.
So we can light it.
Yeah, you can light it. But there's a couple of projects I know that we want that, you know, that all cities obviously.
Oh, yeah.
Have their hand
And
out. I mean, of course
just
they do.
as we did the flyover or the bridge over the railroad on Pearson. I mean, Brandon's got one right now that desperately need that we're trying to help
Out there
with.
by Brown Bottling, right?
Yeah. I mean, we've
That would be
got
tremendous
to do
for
that.
them. That needs to get done.
Traffic's horrible there. The trains coming through, and
And then in order to get that, that's one of the
School.
identified crossings where we got to have a bridge for the passenger rail to run.
yeah,
Right.
it'll help
Right.
develop that area.
Sure.
And of course, you have a school just down the street, and so it'll hopefully save some lives as well.
I know Mayor Butch Lee over there has been asking for this for,
Oh yeah, it's important.
and it's
That's-
important, and hopefully it'll get done. It needs
And
to
then
get done.
out on Lakeland Drive, of course, we need to go on and widen Lakeland on down by the school so that traffic doesn't pile up
Oh,
every morning.
down-
People can get to work.
Down at Northwest Rankin.
Yeah.
Yes, that needs
So
to be done.
Pearl's not the only one
No,
that needs
no,
something.
but in Rankin County, those
And-
are good projects that
Oh,
will help.
absolutely. And then, of course, in some of the smaller towns, they really need money for water and sewer and fire trucks and a lot of other things.
And we're
so
so
there's a lot of
blessed,
needs.
and we're so blessed here.
And we're just one of
And we're-
82.
Right, we're just
counties.
one of, right, and we're so blessed here
Yeah.
in the city of Pearl. You know, we're
And Rankin County.
and Rankin County in general. Right, we are blessed. We try to help. I know we did the city, you know, not too long ago did a full redo of all of our public safety,
Yeah.
and we've been donating our old radios to other towns who can't
So-
afford to buy those. So it's really. You know, I'm looking forward to seeing some of those projects for those smaller cities that need infrastructure improvement. They just can't do it.
So, getting back to what you said earlier, is seniority important?
Yes.
Yes. Right now, our finance chairman's from Rankin County. It's Josh Harkins. And he does the special projects because we're not doing bond bills, so he's helping appropriations and doing our special projects. So, yes, it's important.
I agree. And if you don't like the job your representative is doing, vote them out.
Yeah.
You don't
He's-
need anything
well,
else for term limits.
Well, Josh has done a great job.
I
so.
agree, 100%. I like all of our delegation. I think they all do a very
They
good
do.
job in
They do.
representing our people. But as you said, does seniority matter? Absolutely it does.
It makes a difference.
Right, it does make a difference. And we need to keep it that way instead of having some arbitrary deadline where you know, just run up on it and you can't do anything else, and you lose that person's knowledge and seniority. Just doesn't make any sense. Y'all got 2 weeks. Do you think you're going to go
not.
the full? Do you think you're going to
I
go the
hope
full
we're
2
not there
weeks?
2 weeks from now.
I hope he's saying Wednesday of next week, and I'm saying Thursday of next week. If we're not out by Thursday, then we'll work Good Friday and probably Saturday. And I
If
doubt.
you're not out by Thursday,
but we won't be there on
If
Easter
we're not
Sunday.
out by Thursday, we're still not completely fighting, but we ain't agreeing.
Yeah.
got you. What's
If
the
we're
temperature?
agreeing, we out by Wednesday.
What's the temperature? You're saying Wednesday, you're saying
Well,
Thursday.
I
So the
think
temperature seems like
the temperature is better than it was. So I think as far as the agreeing on things, I think the houses that are pretty close on most everything.
okay.
So.
Okay. Well, as always, I appreciate y'all spending a few minutes with us today.
We appreciate getting to come in here.
It helps everybody understand kind of where we are. It really does.
And how things work.
And how
Yeah.
things work.
Yeah.
If you're paying attention to this show, you really learn about how things move through our legislature.
Not as quickly as we'd like.
I like what you said. It's where bills go to die.
That's right.
Anyway, thanks, guys. Good luck on the next 2 weeks. We'll see you next week. All right, so y'all don't run off, because when we come back, we're going to talk about what's going on this week in Pearl. We'll be right back.
Here in Pearl, we have Trustmark Park. It seats 8,500 people. It's a great venue that we have here locally. You can catch a baseball game. We have a new team, the Mississippi Mud Monsters, so we're so excited about that. And Trustmark Park, the stadium's been fully renovated. And adjacent to that, we have Bass Pro Shop, as well as the Mississippi outlets that people can come shop and enjoy and have a great time. So it's a good place to come. It's a destination spot for our city. We did a $12 million renovation to our Parks and Rec several years ago, and what we were missing was another key area for our children to come and just be able to hang out and have fun, but also have some playground equipment that was really cutting edge. I've always thought if you can get your community together, then you can have a stronger sense of community. And I think that's what Main Street brings to the table for us. And even though we're a post-World War II city and our architectural doesn't signify a downtown, we're trying to have an area that we create that people can come together and have a sense of community.
Hi folks, welcome back into another edition of This Week in Pearl. I want to thank our distinguished guests for all their insight on what's going on at the state capitol this past week and what to look forward to over the next 10 days. Because as I'm hearing from them, as they said, probably won't go all the way to Easter. It may end next Wednesday or Thursday. Good possibility that they'll have all of this worked out and have our budget done and have some good bills passed. There's a lot of good things that are moving through that are fixing some stuff, as Dean Kirby pointed out, especially down there on the coast with the way homeowners insurance is there. So there's a lot of things moving through. So thank you all for watching this. All right, so what's going on this week in Pearl? Well, it's really more like what's going on this month, coming up in April. I mean, we have a lot of things going on. First, right out of the gate is going to be the Mayor's Easter egg hunt, which happens Saturday, April the 4th. They actually start hunting the eggs at 10, so come a little early for that. There's going to be, I believe, some food trucks, bounce houses, all kinds of things out here for kids to do, and that is April the 4th. And then the following week, April 17th, is the Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. That happens on a Friday morning at 7:30. The Prayer Breakfast is a wonderful event. Look forward to it each and every year. And then the following week is Pearl Day. April 25th. Starts off in the park at 9 a.m. All kinds of activities going on there. There'll be music playing all day from various bands that'll be there. There's kids zone stuff to do. There will be bounce houses again, and all kinds of things happening there. All kinds of arts, crafts, food vendors, things of the like, all happening at our Pearl City Park. And then at 5:30, make your way over to Trustmark Park's north parking lot, where multi-platinum recording artist Daughtry will take the stage at 8:45. Hinder opens at 7. Looking forward to seeing all of you guys at each and every one of these events. Again, I'm Frank Hutton. Thank you for joining me this week. I hope you all have a good one. See you next time.